Hello and welcome to your 66th SQL Server tutorial. My name is Johnny DeLuca and tonight I want to talk to you about data manipulation triggers. Okay, so to start, data manipulation triggers are sets of T-SQL statements that perform a specific action. They're often referred to as a special kind of stored procedure. But unlike stored procedures, triggers are executed only when a user or application attempts to modify data using DML, which is data manipulation language, which includes inserts, updates, and deletes against views and tables. In the next few tutorials, I'm going to show you the different types of DML triggers. I'm going to show you how to create, modify, and drop triggers. And then lastly, I'll walk you through the steps to enable or disable an existing trigger. So, okay, types of triggers. We have three types. And triggers, like most objects contained within a SQL Server database, have multiple types. As we see right here, we have after, instead of, and CLR triggers. And this tutorial, the next few tutorials, I'm going to focus on after and instead of triggers. Okay? As its name suggests, the after trigger is executed after a DML event and is the default action for a new trigger if a type is not specified. It is the most common type of trigger used. For example, suppose an application issues an insert statement that adds a single row to a table that has an after trigger. Once the insert completes, then the code inside the trigger will execute, but within the same transaction as the triggering insert. This is really important to remember. It's the reason that triggers can execute with relational integrity, but it may also reduce performance. The original transaction will not commit or roll back until the trigger has also committed or rolled back. If an insert is executed on a table, the instead of trigger will execute in place of the actual insert. So what I mean by this is the insert is not run and the code within the DML trigger is executed instead as part of the triggering transaction. Okay? So now you can use the following pseudocode example script as a starting point for creating a DML trigger right here. Okay, and then something to take note of: constraints including foreign key cascade operations are checked prior to executing either type of trigger. If it is an instead of trigger, the constraint is checked after the trigger completes. If it is an after trigger, the constraint is checked prior to executing the trigger. Regardless of the type of trigger, when the trigger event is rolled back, it causes a constraint violation. For instead of triggers, the entire event is undone or rolled back, and in the case of for trigger, nothing is executed. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to view triggers on tables inside of Management Studio. So, okay, connect to an instance of SQL Server. Then we're headed to our Databases folder. We're going to expand that. We're looking for AdventureWorks 2012. We're going to expand that. We're looking for our Tables folder. We want to expand that. Then we're looking for Human Resources.employee table, and we want to expand that. There we go right there. Then we're going down to our triggers folder. We want to expand that. And there, you see Bemployee. Okay, so since a trigger can be associated to a specific view and table, you will need to go to this location to find a list of triggers on an object. Okay, and that does it for this tutorial. In my next tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to create a for trigger using T-SQL. See you there. Thanks for stopping by.